Proverbs?
Yes.
Okay, so Proverbs 26, 4 and 5. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit.
All right, so some people may look at that as a contradiction, and we'll come back to that. So what are some possible apparent reasons for contradiction? I want to share with you 4 reasons that I think are very sound. There are times we have what's called mistaken letters as possible reasons for contradiction. And when I say that, we can just look in the Bible. We have in like Genesis 10, verse 4, where the sons of Javan were listed. It says Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodamin. All right? And then when you read 1 Chronicles 1, 7, the same list was given, and the same 4 sons were mentioned. We have Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and instead of Dodamin, we have Rodanin. Just the D being changed to an R. Does that invalidate the Bible? Clearly, there was a mistake in, there of letters. That's one possibility. We're looking at possible reasons for apparent contradiction. Then we have homophones. We know that words that sound the same but are written differently. We have things like it's, an ITS and IT apostrophe S. We have there and there, THERE versus THEIR. So that could be possible. Look, my son and I, we were playing a game that we have called Gestures, right? Where you have Bible topics and so on, and you have to act it out. You have to guess what the topic is all about. And my son looked at the word, and he was acting it all out, and he's pointing to his chin and all that, all right? And I am just there cracking up with laughter because I'm the proofreader. I'm behind him to ensure that he's not cheating, all right? And the word he's acting out, he's pointing to his beard when the word is bread, all right? And he was so convinced that, I got it, this and that. But no, son, you were wrong. B-R-E-A-D and B-E-R-D, all the same letters. But there are times, if you just kind of quickly glance at things, you can jump to the wrong conclusion.
Oh, excellent point.
We have what's called hypography, where sometimes you're reading through and your eyes may jump down to the same word in a different sentence, things like that. Can also lead to confusion. But what I like, I think it's a more contemporary one. It's called harmonization. We find this in, for example, with the story of Abraham, where we're told that Abraham pursued the captors of his nephew Lot all the way to Dan. When you read the same story, or you read a similar context of Dan didn't get his name until later on in Judges 18, 29, and so on. And so someone reading the Bible said, hey, there was no Dan in Abraham's time, right? The city was Lachish. That's the name for it then. If you asked me to go and update the history of Fredericksburg right now, I would probably refer to this area as Germanna Highway. But if you go back in history, this whole entire street was known as Plank Road, all right? And so it's just harmonizing, bringing the name into its modern context. So because those folks are dead and gone, all right? Yes, so you're writing it for the modern audience so they can now relate, oh yes, this is Germanna Highway or Route 3, but from the old records we'll have the same area, but it will be called as Plank Road. So just harmonization. Today we have a lot of places being changed, schools are being renamed, and so on. So if you're going to talk about a school that was no longer given that name, right now in Washington, D.C., an entire street was just renamed Black Lives Matter, but the record would not have that on it.
Oh, good point.
So it's harmonizing, bringing things up to date. So someone going through the old records and new records would say, whoa,
yes, sir,
there's a contradiction here, something this doesn't exist. So those are some possible reasons for the apparent contradiction. And so